Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. First of all, my limited Dandavat pranams to Lotus feet of Shiva Gurudev, Nikhil Krishna Vishnupad, Astotra Satya Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Gurudeva Sam Vishnupad, Astotra Satya Srimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Shrimati Krishna Priya Thakurani, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Srimad Bhaktivedanta Damodar Maharaj. So on this day of Annakuta Mahotsavam, Govardhana Puja, two great Vaishnavas made their appearance. One is Sri Rasikananda Dev Prabhu, the famous disciple of Sri Shyamananda Prabhu, and the other one is Nikhil Krishna Vishnupad Srimad Bhakti Kusum Shraman Goswami Maharaj. So we'll talk about him a little at the end. Yesterday we visited the temple of Radha Shyama Sundara. So unfortunately there was no darshan because they were preparing huge darshan. Every day there's new darshan in that temple. So Nanda Kumar and I went there from 2 to 6. There was darshan and we saw the deities Shyamananda Prabhu Lala Lali and deities of Shri Prajadananda Dev Goswami and Shri Baladevi Devbhushan Prabhu. So there was very amazing Govardhan darshan, so much bhoga offered. So we visited the underground bhajan kutir of Shri Shyamananda Prabhu, and you saw Shyamananda Prabhu straight, and on the left you saw Shri Rasikananda Prabhu, Rasikananda Dev he was called. He was called Dev because he's actually incarnation of Aniruddha, like Shakti of Aniruddha entered him. That's why he's presented there in Krishna's bodily hue, with darkish complexion. So Shri Rasikananda was a very amazing devotee. He came to this world in 1597, and he was a son of King Achyutananda Dev. He was like prince, aristocratic birth he got. So his name was Rasik Murari at birth, and from very childhood he was very much inclined towards spirituality. He wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam naturally. So his father, the king, became afraid, oh, he will become a saint, a sadhu. So father was looking at him and was saying, oh, he's completely disinterested with kingdom and anything material. So father found a wife for him and married him by force. His wife's name was Ichamati. So she was also a princess. So he was walking here and there, looking at the possessions of his father in the kingdom and thinking of Krishna. But once Krishna came to him in a dream, like a vision, and said, oh, very, very soon you have to find your guru, Shyamananda, and you will get initiation from him. So perfected devotees have darshan in dreams like this. At that time, Shyamananda Prabhu was here in Vrindavan, under the guidance of Shri Jiva Goswami here in Radha Damodar Mandir. So once when Shyamananda Prabhu was sitting in a kunja in a dark forest, Madan Gopal, the deity, came to him in a dream, and she said, oh, you have to go to Utkal, to Orissa, because Rasika Murari was born in Orissa, and you have to find that great devotee Rasik Murari, so please go. So Shyamananda Prabhu asked Jiva Goswami's permission, all the other Vaishnavas' permission. He left Vrindavan temporarily and went to Utkal, to Orissa. Before the name of Orissa, Odisha, was Utkal. So he went to the royal assembly of King Achyutananda Dev by divine providence, will of divine providence. So he saw Harikatha there. He heard Bhagavatam recitation. So King Achyutananda and his son Rasik Murari were listening to Srimad Bhagavatam very diligently, And father and son were asking the speaker. The speaker was great Vaishnava, so they were asking him about the inner meanings of the verses. And Shyamananda also was listening very, very carefully. So then Harikatha finished, all the public left, and only Rasikananda, Rasik Murari and Shyamananda left in the assembly. So they looked at each other and immediately recognized. Then Rasik Murari said, "Oh Gurudev," and fell at the feet of Shyamananda Prabhu. Immediately he recognized his Guru. So Shyamananda Prabhu also immediately recognized his eternal associate, his disciple. And he said, "I'll give you initiation." So very soon initiation was given and his name became Rasikananda. So he was just 18 at that time. And very, very soon Shyamananda Prabhu told Rasikananda Prabhu to preach. You go and preach here in Utkal, in Orissa, in your native land. So he went and he was preaching in the same way as his guru, Shyamananda Prabhu. He was preaching very boldly and he was accepting many brahmanas. Although Shyamananda Prabhu, I think, was from Kayastha caste, and Rasik Murari was a prince, a Kshatriya, so they were initiating brahmanas, which was very much disliked by caste brahmanas of that time in the area. So also he was initiating Muslims like this, atheists, Buddhists like this, very, very boldly they were preaching. So very soon when King Ahmad Beg became very envious of Rasikananda, and he said, "Okay, let's check if you're a really saintly person. There's one mad elephant around. That mad elephant is very ferocious and he kills people here and there. So I will send this mad elephant to you. Let's see how saintly you are, if you can defend yourself by the power of your Lord." So then Rasikananda was taking bath at that time, and the ferocious elephant arrived there and wanted to attack Rasikananda. But Rasikananda immediately sprinkled him with water from the kund and said, "Krishna kaho, chant Krishna, chant Krishna. Oh, your name is Gopal." He initiated the elephant. At the spot, the elephant started chanting Krishna in his elephant language. And he brought, Rasikananda said, brought other elephants, bring your friends from the forest. So elephant brought other elephants, all of them became initiated. Shyamananda Prabhu gave a special place of worship for Rasikananda, that was Gopivallapur. In Gopivallapur he was worshipping the deities, and once he wanted to visit Ratha Yatra in Puri. You know Ratha Yatra, Sandra? Ratha Yatra, do you know Ratha Yatra? It's a great festival in Jagannath Puri, in Orissa, by the shore of the ocean. The three chariots of the deities, Jagannath means Krishna, Baladev, his brother, Balaram, first expansion, and Subhadra, his sister, are going towards the other end, temple of Gundicha, which symbolizes Vrindavan. So the meditation of the Vaishnavas, Krishna returns to Vrindavan from Dwaraka like this. So everything was ready for Jagannath Ratha Yatra, but Jagannath couldn't move. He didn't want to move, so Ratha Yatra could not start. The king engaged many horses, elephants, to drag the chariots. The chariots were still standing. The king was not understanding what was going on, and he started praying to Jagannath, "Oh Jagannath, please tell me what is going on." And Jagannath gave him an answer. In his meditation, the king heard the voice of the Lord. "O king, my pure devotee Rasikananda is now coming to me, but he was delayed because he was visiting some places of pilgrimage. So he is now somewhere not far, about like 30-40 kilometers maybe. So you please wait for him, or you meet him, and then when he comes, then I will start. And I will start the Ratha Yatra." So then king himself came and met Rasikananda in that location the Lord mentioned, and he invited him, "Oh, please come very, very quickly. Without you, Ratha Yatra will not start." So when Rasikananda came, Ratha Yatra started. Imagine how the Lord appreciates his devotee. Without his devotee's presence, the Lord will not move for Rath Yatra even. So then a famous story we told when we were visiting Shyamananda Prabhu's Samadhi, a very famous story. When Rasikananda Dev once was in Gopivallapur, one mystic yogi, like a fakir, wanted to meet him. And he came riding a tiger, because tiger is carrier of Durga, I think. So that fakir mystic was worshipping Mother Durga, so he said, see, my mother is riding on the tiger, I can also do. See how powerful I am. I want to challenge you for a debate. Rasikananda looked at him, a poor fellow, your mystic powers worth nothing. Okay, if you want to see some mystic powers, I can show you if you really like. All Vaishnavas have mystic powers, but they never show, because they're not interested. Once Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada was asked in one, I think, university class, can you show any mystic powers? Prabhupada looked at all of his devotees and said, these are my mystic powers. Former hippies, drug takers, LSD addicts, all of them are now saintly persons, devotees of Krishna. So Rasikananda said, okay, I will ride the wall. He was sitting on the wall and brushing his teeth. And he came to the fakir, to the mystic riding the wall. The wall started walking, carrying Rasikananda to meet the mystic. So the mystic gave up at once, okay, no debate, I accept your powers, I understand. You're a powerful Vaishnava. So Vaishnavas spend some time in this universe, on this planet, but then after some time they want to leave. How to say, it's very painful for the followers, for everyone, but we have to accept it. They must be on their way. So one day, Rasikananda was dancing. I didn't mention, he was worshipping Gopinath. Kshirachara Gopinath. This morning we heard, Bhushan Prabhu was speaking the story of Madhavendra Puri. So he came to Remuna, that place, and he was worshipping that Gopinath, the deity, and Gopinath stole sweet rice kheer for Madhavendra Puri especially. So he became known as Kshirachara Gopinath, Gopinath who had stolen kheer. So Rasikananda came to that same Gopinath and he started worshipping that deity, became very much attached to the deity. But once he started dancing, and then all of a sudden some thorn pierced his foot. So as a result, he was not able to dance anymore. And he expressed like leelas of disease. So his disciples, about 5 disciples were there. So they lifted Rasikananda to carry to some village nearby for treatment. But all of a sudden, his body became so heavy they couldn't even move it, what to speak of lifting and carrying. So finally he said that, oh, please carry me to Remuna. So his disciples somehow or other carried him to Remuna. His body became normal weight, so they carried him to Remuna. And he said, I want to finish my life here. I want to go back. So he entered the temple area, temple room, and never returned from there. So he merged with the deity, because he's actually incarnation of the Shakti of the Lord, Aniruddha. So he entered the Lord. So Shri Rasikananda Deva ki jai. So his 5 disciples, they could not bear separation with the Gurudev. They left their bodies at once at that same place. So his samadhi is there, Rasikananda Deva samadhi is there. Samadhis of his 5 disciples are also there. So on this very day, one great Vaishnava came, a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Kusum Shraman Goswami Maharaj. His samadhi, Pushpa samadhi, is in the courtyard of Krishna, of Radha Damodar Mandir. We circumambulate every morning. So from 1976 to 1986, for 10 years, he was Acharya of the initial Sri Chaitanya Math. When Srila Bhakti Pradip Tirtha Maharaj left this world, Then Srila Bhakti Kusum Shraman Maharaj became Acharya. He was a very talented Vaishnava. He came to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in 1927. He received Harinam and Diksha, but he was thinking he would receive only Harinam. But Prabhupada gave him Diksha by force. In fact, it's very interesting. Prabhupada gave him first Diksha and then Harinam. Very specific case. So he was very talented, so Prabhupada told him to preach, and he said at once, I will fulfill all your orders, whatever you tell me, I will do. So Sharanagati demonstrated at once. So Prabhupada said, you assist Pranavananda Prabhu, the future Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, in editing and printing Nadia Prakash, daily newspaper. Srila Prabhupada said, oh, so many newspapers in this world and they distribute bad news everywhere. But we want to distribute good news. So there was daily newspaper, Nadia Prakash. And Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj was chief editor, and Bhakti Kusum Shraman Maharaj was helping. His name was Krishna Kanti Brahmachari. Krishna Kanti means bodily hue of Srimati Radhika, of Krishna Kanti. So then he was the chief editor of Gaudiya magazine after that. And finally, after the disappearance, his very, very dear friend and actually Vartma Pradharshaka Guru was Srila Bhakti Pradip Tirtha Maharaj. After the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Pradip Tirtha Maharaj in 1976, he became Acharya for 10 years, then he disappeared in 1986. So we remember him, another ray of Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Kusum Shraman Maharaj Ki Jai. So soon will be Arati. I think we have enough time for rolling the carpets and Harinam.